What's going on, everyone? I'm Torvalderus, and I want to talk about gathering, refining, and crafting in Albion Online. Now, this is going to be a very basic overview. I'm not going to go into specifics on what you should craft or gather or refine. That'll be up to you to do research to figure out. There's different ways you can go about it, but I actually do all three. I gather the materials, I refine them myself, and I craft items because I enjoy it so much. There are ways you can make a lot of money doing this. Me, I'm not like extremely rich. I just do it because it's a really fun hobby in Albion. So first on gathering and refining, I absolutely love this system. There are all these different biomes in Albion and each biome has its own specific resources. Say for example, you want to focus on mining ore. The three places you can do that are in the mountains, in the desert, and in the highlands. Now you can refine that ore anywhere, but if you want to take advantage of the bonus, you have to refine that ore in Thetford. Now of course, Thetford's in the swamps and there are no ores in the swamps. So to be able to take advantage of that bonus, you have to go around to these different areas, collect the ore, and then transfer it to Thetford if you want to get the bonus. This creates a really unique economic system in Albion where you can either gather stuff in one area and sell it to people who are willing to move it, or you can gather it and transport it yourself. Me personally, I like to gather all the materials myself, transport it to the city that has the correct refining bonus, refine it, and then transport it to where I want to craft based on bonuses. I'm not looking to min-max, I just do it because I enjoy it, but if you do it right, do your research and figure out what you want to work on, you can actually make good money doing this. For example, now I'm not going to go into specifics because obviously it requires a lot of research on your part, but you can find out where to buy the cheapest ore, and then you can transport that ore to Thetford, refine it, and then take that finished refined product and go to a different city to sell it. So you do not have to gather if you don't want to. Me personally, I like running around gathering. Mainly I do it in yellow zones, but I'll occasionally dip out in the red zones for a little bit better resources. Now another really cool aspect of this entire system, the lower tier things are used all the way up. Every single resource that you can refine requires the previous tier to be able to refine it. So wood, for example, if you want to make tier 5 planks, you have to have at least one tier 4 plank. And to be able to make a tier 4 plank, you need one T3 plank. So every single T6 and higher item you see out there in the game has required lower tier stuff gathered in blue or yellow zones. Me personally, I play on mobile a lot. One of my favorite things to do when I'm just screwing around on mobile is to go around yellow zones collecting tier 3 to tier 5 stuff. And I love knowing that that stuff is absolutely necessary for higher tier crafting. Now, obviously, I'm not saying everyone should go out and do this and you're going to get rich doing it, but just know that even lower tier gathering and refining is required in higher tier crafting. Normally, I stop at tier 5 refining and crafting. However, I do take dips out into the red zone to gather tier 6 stuff, and that's pretty good money if you can make it happen. Now, logistics does not stop at refining. You also have to take this in consideration when crafting. Say, for example, you want to craft bows. What you can do is you can gather wood around Limhurst, but if you want to take advantage of the refining bonus, you'll have to transport that wood from Limhurst to Fort Sterling. Fort Sterling has a bonus towards refining wood, so you'll take the wood to Fort Sterling to take advantage of that, and then you'll want to transport it back to Limhurst if you plan on crafting bows. Using the bonus from Limhurst with crafting bows, you'll get a little bit more efficient rather than crafting those bows somewhere else. Now that you have your finished product, you've taken advantage of all the bonuses, now comes time to selling it. This is where it'll be 100% up to you to do your own research to figure out what will be best. I can't sit here and say, oh yeah, you've made this product, so sell it in this city, because the market is always changing. What you can do is check the market prices for all the cities and then figure out where you want to sell an item at. Me personally, I don't craft items and take them straight to the market. I usually sit on them for a while and accumulate a bunch and then figure out where I'm going to make the most profit, where I can sell that item for the most, and then I'll transport a large bunch of them to that place at once. And like I said, the market is always changing, so if you take a large batch of created items and put them on the market, you're going to drive the price down. So here's another little trick. You do not have to put all your stuff on the market at one time. Now again, this is all a basic overview. There's no guide or person that can say, hey, you should make this and sell it here, because that is always changing. What you can do though is just make sure you're taking advantage of those city bonuses for refining and crafting. Also, due to focus, it pays off to specialize and focus on one thing. The more you refine and craft, the more fame and higher level you get, which increases your efficiency and reduces the amount of focus it takes. Using focus increases your efficiency, and the more fame you have in something, the less focus it costs. So with that being said, it pays off to focus on one thing. That way you can increase your efficiency. Me personally, I gather everything and I specialize in crafting longbows, assassin shoes, and great hammers. Another tip when it comes to gathering and crafting, journals. Journals are used to send out laborers on task, and while you're doing this stuff, you're actually filling up these journals. It's always a good idea to have these journals with you while you're running around gathering or crafting, and then you can either use these journals on your own laborers or you can sell these journals on the market. I personally have a bunch of fletching laborers and a few blacksmith laborers, so while I'm doing my crafting, I get these journals and I use them on my laborers to go get me materials. Again, journals are not going to make you rich, but they're a little extra bonus to make some more silver. But there it is. That is my basic overview to gathering, refining, and crafting an Albion Online. I mainly do it myself because I love the entire system of it. I do make money off of it. I'm not the most efficient min-maxer, but overall, I just really enjoy it as kind of a hobby in Albion. If you want to be really crazy and make the big money, get out there in the black zones, collect that tier 7 and tier 8 and craft that and make the big money. If you have any questions or you like the video, let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you out there in Albion.